What up? It's your boy T-Bear, the reaction to today's Films Friday. Now we're getting to the meat and potatoes of Films Friday, which is the dead meat kill count. As I said, I'm just going to go with the latest one as well too, and it looks like the latest dead meat kill count is 28 weeks later, which came out 2007, which is the sequel to 28 Days Later. I think I did a card count or a body count via Jeff at on this, but never did a full story on this one as well too. The last one was pretty interesting story with that, and I heard this one is like a lot of fast paced transformation where it's going on. But either way, and I think I'm not sure if it's British. I think it's semi British. Basically, got both British and American actors. Nick, I heard I saw Harry how you pronounce his name, dude from Verge from Best Man's on here. So yeah, so other than I saw it from the trailer from the last kill count. So other than that though, depends on next week. Next kill count is if it's the game one, I'm doing where depends on the game. Might do it. If not, I may bring back the poll. But other than that, without further ado, let's check out 20 weeks later. Let's get it.
Tomorrow, Saturday, February 1st, is the third annual Horror Royal Rumble over on our other channel, Dead Meat Presents. Come watch 30 custom-made horror characters duke it out in a wrestling ring until only one remains. It premieres at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 noon Pacific, over on Dead Meat Presents. See you there! Welcome to the Kill Count, where we tally up the victims in all our favorite horror movies and show you how they were made. I'm James A. Janice, and today we're looking at 28 Weeks Later, released in 2007. After 28 Days Later made over 10 times its budget, producers started zooming towards a sequel right away. It was initially pitched as a prequel called 29 Days Later, which would take place during the initial outbreak.
There was an idea that it was to take place in the 28 days between the original outbreak and when the first film started, and it was all going to be about a team of British Marines trying to rescue the Prime Minister and the Queen.
But the final concept went in the opposite direction, taking us many weeks after the outbreak to a clean, infection-free London. As the end of the first movie showed, people with the rage virus eventually starved to death. This sequel takes place after that's happened en masse, as London attempts to repopulate. Unlike the eerie isolation of the first film, Weeks features a whole-ass colony of survivors. Makes the movie a lot bigger, but to keep things grounded, it hones in and focuses on a family, one that may hold the genetic key to a rage cure. But of course, thanks to human error, it's not long before the rage virus is up and running again. Literally. After way more weeks of...
James, I got your family to safety like you asked, but the infected, they're everywhere, man. You gotta let me in.
Zoran? Is that you, man?
Not Zoran.
You haven't been infected, have you?
What? No, I mean, I have a bit of a sore throat, but that's, probably just from overworking my voice. Plus, I haven't had time to find a doctor near my new house.
Oh, well then sounds like you need today's sponsor, ZocDoc. ZocDoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare high-quality in-network
Why is it sister in that? I guess there's a reason.
doctors and click to instantly book an appointment.
What? No, James, I don't have time to go through all the work of finding a doctor that takes my insurance and is taking new patients. Oh, I hear the infected, they're coming!
Yeah, well, I hear that you haven't used ZocDoc to filter for doctors from their over 100,000 doctors across every specialty.
Are you doing a sponsorship bid? Well, I'm gonna die!
And you definitely haven't made an appointment using their easy-to-use system that lets you see actual appointment openings and click to instantly book one.
Fine, yes, I will try ZocDoc. But, it just takes ages to see a doctor, so can you please just let me in first? Just let me in.
Well, see, actually with ZocDoc, you don't have to wait for 28 weeks to have an appointment. Typically, they happen in just 24 to 72 hours. Some even same day. So why don't you just go get yourself checked out first, and I'll be happy to let you in after. Zoran?
Hey.
Well, I guess he's already off to his appointment. You don't have to put off your doctor's appointments either. Go to ZocDoc.com/killcount to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com/killcount. ZocDoc.com/killcount.
Lord.
After way more weeks of practice, can the infected score more kills? Let's find out and get to them. The movie begins with dinner prep for candlelit pasta paired with the finest vintage vino.
And look, drinkable.
It's still early on during the rage virus, more like 5 to 6 days later than 28. Husband and wife Don and Alice are holed up in a cottage where they can't even kiss without getting interrupted. They're there with other survivors, elderly cottage owners Jeff and Sally, token grump Jacob, and Karen, who's gone totally Barbara since the recent death of her boyfriend. Doomsday dinner is interrupted by a knocking. Who's there?
Don, it's a kid.
Kid who? No, seriously, who's the kid? Don doesn't want to undo their barricading work, but eventually lets the boy inside. I love the reveal that this dark, dingy scene has been taking place in the middle of the day. That's just how good they are at barricading. The hungry pasta muncher makes himself at home as, wait a minute, I know that little pants pisser. Don begins to question if it was a good idea to let him in.
Sam.
I'm gonna go with no. The housewarming party gets started with four-armed divorce. She's pulled outside for some namen. By the time Jacob pulls her back, she's already rageful. She nearly pukes on Jake, but Don saves him by bashing her head in with a crowbar. Ah, great. Now that grout is a biohazard. More infected pour into the house as Don fights them off, giving the other survivors a chance to escape. Alice and the kid get separated and head upstairs, while everyone else makes it to a barn. Jeff fails to Hodor and is overcome by the wave of infected. Jacob makes it up to a loft, but Sally takes too long mourning her husband and joins him as a result. Just as a reminder, within this franchise, we don't count infections as kills. A person who contracts the rage virus isn't technically dead and could theoretically be cured one day. It's different than zombie movies where a person dies to become a zombie. Because remember, the infected aren't zombies.
A lot of people call them zombies, but they're infected. But fine, call them zombies, I don't care.
But hey,
But yeah, cause he's in it too. Can't think of the name right now. Hawkeye's in it. I'm gonna say Hawkeye. Yeah, Jerry Renner. Hawkeye's in it, so yeah, he's in it too, so yeah.
Guy says you can still call him that. Don manages to crowbar one intruder to death, but he can't stop the onslaught of rabid ragers. He heads upstairs to get Alice, but his Braveheart wife refuses to leave the stranger boy behind. Puts Don between the rage and a hard place.
Don! Help us!
Oh, holy shit, he does not! Instead, he hardcore parkours the fuck out of there. Damn.
That's fucked up. You bastard.
I'm Don, dude. That was your wife and some kid. As a reprise of the kick-ass In the House in a Heartbeat plays, the house gets overrun behind him. Not even NECA can make Don look back. He is hell-bent on surviving. This epic opening scene is what everyone remembers about this movie, and no wonder. It kicks ass. It was partly shot by Danny Boyle, director of the first film, but his work was mostly second unit. He was too busy with Sunshine to direct the whole movie, so he recommended commercial director Juan Carlos Fresnadillo, based on his debut feature Intacto. It was the Spanish director's first English language film.
Why me? I'm not Londoner, I'm not English, I don't know this city. But they were looking for somebody who introduced, you know, a kind of fresh vision in the concept.
That fresh vision had assistance from OG writer Alex Garland, who helped with rewrites and on-set dialogue changes. Don makes it to the dock where Jacob's getting ready to cut loose. He hijacks his pleasure cruise and sorta kinda condemns him to death. Ha, classic Don. Jacob must have swapped spit with a mare zombie because he gets infected. So Don turns his old chum into new chum using the outboard motor. As he gets away, Don's left saying what we're all thinking.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit!
Man, I love how intense this opening scene is. It perfectly demonstrates how fast things can go from quiet dinner to full-on shitstorm when you're up against the rage virus. A series of time jumps catches us up to the current day. The infection have been starved out.
I get it, but still, that's fucked up.
And NATO has moved into the UK, led by American military forces.
Okay,
Mainland
yep,
Britain's
that's
now
American
virus-free, so we'll count all the infected folk we saw in the cold open as having died from starvation. That includes Jeff, Sally, that kid, and 31 rage zombies. Yep, had to count each of those bastards individually. This is gonna be one of those kill counts. The people of London are attempting to rebuild their city now that it's been title card. London at large still needs a few Lysol wipes, but NATO set up a nice little timeshare on the Isle of Dogs, which isn't actually an island. It's a peninsula on the River Thames, and also a Wes Anderson film. Refugees have started returning to the city with the latest batch, including Andy and Tammy. They're Don and Alice's kids, who were in Spain on a field trip when the virus broke out back home. Thank God they sold enough Yankee candles. The kids and everyone else arriving have to live in District 1, aka the Green Zone, a sonic-sounding protected area they learn about on a tram tour.
We have hot and cold running water, 24-hour electricity, a medical center, a supermarket, and even a pub.
Hey kid, pay attention. She's about to do a funny bit with Fallon on the TV. The Green Zone is played by Canary Wharf, a building complex on the Isle of Dogs that's part of London's central business district. Fresnadillo shot for 9 weeks in the UK's capital, shooting mostly in the city and East London, with a week in Hertfordshire for the opening cottage scene. I'm probably saying that wrong, sorry. Andy and Tammy are the first ever children to be admitted into the Green Zone. It's an unwelcome surprise for Chief Medical Officer Scarlett.
No one told me that we're now admitting children.
They're so sticky. The issue is swept aside by her no-nonsense boss, General Stone, who says they can handle any virus resurgence.
If it comes back, we kill it. Code Red.
Scarlet is played by Rose Byrne, who...
I thought it was like, I was like, what is that, Rose Byrne? How's she playing? She's playing like American in a way.
From the Insidious franchise, but who is also an incredible comedic actress. Look no further than Spy and Get Him to the Greek.
I'm talking about my asshole.
Stone is, of course, Idris Elba, a British actor playing an American general in a...
That's what I'm saying. Ain't both of them British? They play American? That's kind of interesting.
British film. Makes sense of that. He was previously seen on the kill count in Prometheus. The passengers disembark in the city, where Don train spots his kids for a tearful reunion. He's done well for himself since his divorce. He's become this place's station.
Pretty much.
This is Triple A, access all areas. That's me. I basically run the place, you know?
Damn, he's got a sweet gig, a literal suite to live in, and he never has to think about that time he abandoned his wife to die.
What happened?
I guess, crazy second. That's sacrifice for a great cause, I guess. Still fucked up, but...
Dad? To Mum.
Ah, well, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Don mostly tells the truth, but lies and says he saw actual biting take place. Doesn't mention the whole running away thing either. So much bullshit, his wife interrupts the movie to complain.
I tried to go back.
But, kids are dumb, so they fall for it. Good job, Don. Smooth sailing, as long as you don't have a breakdown or anything. Keep it together, man. The Americans are swinging their big sticks around to keep peace in the green zone. They've got a team of 24/7 rooftop snipers, which includes Jeremy Renner as Sergeant Doyle. It's a thankless job, but they keep themselves entertained.
Fat guy, jerking off in the toilet.
Oh, bug nuts. Him again. I saw him yesterday.
Doyle also lets off steam by jump scaring his friends, like helicopter pilot Flynn. Flynn's played by Harold Perrineau, current star.
Thank you, Perrineau. I've been wondering how to pronounce his name for the longest time. Perrineau. Thank you, James. I'm probably still gonna forget it, but still.
From and previous Father of the Year in Lost. Doyle the sniping Tom keeps a very watchful eye over the city. Ooh, and is that Cupid's crosshairs I'm seeing? With that kind of vigilance protecting them, Don's kids sleep tight and don't let any bed bugs or rage-infected folk bite. Still, they miss their mom, and he's afraid he'll forget what she looks like. Yeah, probably, if she keeps ripping her face off in his dreams. Tammy decides to assuage his fears by plotting to get a picture of her. At first light, they go all Metal Gear Solid to sneak out of the safe zone and tee-hee their way into danger. They're too busy living in indie dramedy to even care if they get sniped. They find a crashed moped to really shore up the whimsy. Tammy nabs the keys from a bastard Skelly delivery boy. Here, brother, put on this dead man's helmet and let's go! The kids have a wistful journey back home free of traffic lights, looking like Harry and Lloyd on their way to Colorado. For these shots of a decimated London, production designer Mark Tildelsley took inspiration from photos of real-life disasters, like Hurricane Katrina and the London Blitz. The kids find their old house exactly how they left it. Spare key in the garden, photos on the fridge, and springy death trap out back. Ha, their trampoline is just like mine from when I was a kid. No safety net or even a cover over the springs. Mine also had like a foot-sized hole in it. Made backyard wrestling extra dangerous. Aw, look at 12-year-old me. While bouncing, Andy sees movement in the creepiest room of the house and decides to check it out all alone. He finds crosses on the wall, maggots on the table, and a feral woman in the corner. Oh shit, wait a minute, that's a feral mom!
I knew it.
You have been living like Newt and aliens. Mama Alice has forgotten uninfected etiquette, so she hugs Andy a bit too hard. It sends him fleeing to a heavily armed hazmat team that just showed up. They take her back to District 1 for a screamy, steamy shower and some medical
Oh, okay. That's what I thought so. I knew something was up because they encounter.
testing. The kids are similarly quarantined until Daddy Don is informed.
We found your kids.
Awesome! Cheers all around!
We found your wife, too.
Oh, that's super. That's
Bam.
great, seriously. As you might expect, his kids aren't thrilled about being lied to.
You said you saw her die.
Don says he didn't use those exact words, which, is true, but like I said, kids are dumb. They don't care.
Shit, hold on. The door look familiar. The door look mad familiar. Hold on a second. Where did I know the door from? Emoji Post. Oh, yeah. That's for an awkward moment. I thought that was her. Wow. Like I said, why she look familiar? Nice.
Hair if you're technically correct. But science backs up the Donster. Alice was bitten and really should be dead.
There's no question, sir. She has the virus. She's infected.
As it turns out, she is infected, but she's immune to its effects. She's an asymptomatic carrier, someone who has a disease and can spread it, even though they personally don't suffer from any symptoms. Scarlett believes that Alice's genes might help them develop a cure. Alice and Andy's genes, actually. They both have heterochromia, an inherited trait that gives you different colored eyes. General Stone is like, sure, nerd, do whatever tests you need to. But they probably should have protected this potential scientific miracle a little bit more. Because in waltzes Donnie come lately, abusing his clearance level to visit his wife. He may be a coward sometimes, but Don's given a lot of humanity thanks to Scottish actor Robert Carlyle.
I'm so sorry. I'm scared. I shouldn't have run away.
Against all odds, Alice forgives Don for letting her die, and they reconcile by swapping spit. It's a sweet moment, or rather, it would be if this virus wasn't transmitted through body fluids. And there's a lot of fluids being transmitted in that. This is the worst post-nut clarity of all time. Don hulks out around the hygienic honeymoon suite, and it is honestly horrifying. Dude does the hereditary head bash and attacks his wife in one of the most uncomfortable kills I've ever seen. Feels a bit too much like domestic abuse, him punching her in the face like that. Then he bites her neck. The infected are a lot more bitey in this one. I don't know why. Don ultimately kills Alice by giving her the old Jimbo special, which I guess is tradition now. Hope they keep the gouging going in 28 years later. Don escapes and continues his makeout spree.
I don't like Don. I don't like Don. Once he abandons his wife to get affected, then his dumbass kisses his wife, who is affected, and gets self-infected, and kill her who had her for the razor virus. You big dummy. Jesus, I don't like Don right now.
With a couple of soldiers outside. Neither of them get back up, so we'll go ahead and count these as fatal hickeys. General Stone immediately initiates Baja Blast protocol, and the kids end up stuck in quarantine.
Everything's fine. Don't worry. I'll be back in a moment.
No, you're not.
Man, never say you'll be right back.
You're back.
You won't be back. I mean, at least not as a human. Luckily, good neighbor Scarlett lands a headshot before he can cause any minor damage. She leads the kids past the chaos and another dead soldier she presumably domed with extreme prejudice. But she's no match for a mosh, so Andy gets swept away to a demonic stairwell. He finds himself in an underground parking garage, getting locked in with the other panicked evacuees. And just when he finds the perfect corner to sulk in, lockdown procedures turn out most of the lights and something starts bumping in the dark. I don't know, maybe NATO sent some pizzas down there? Nope, it's just that damn undeadbeat Dan again. Hector Carlisle's no
Deadbeat Dan. Yo, got it.
stranger
Good
to people
one.
eating, since he was a cannibal in 1999's Ravenous, which we covered on the podcast. He'd already worked with Boyle on Train Spotting and turned down the role of Major West in 28 Days Later. What sold him on the sequel was the family unit and Fresnadillo's emphasis on the inner lives of the infected. Not that they were easy to play.
Playing an infected person was, I wasn't really looking forward to it, to be honest, because I know that it's difficult, you know, with contact lenses and covered in blood and stuff like that. So you're kind of aware that from the outside that it looks great, you know, but when you're actually doing it, it's hard work, you know.
Yeah, it's not just as simple as making zombie noises, Rose. I still love you, Rose. Donnie works overtime, turning the garage into a blood rave that would make Blade red with envy. Thank fucking Christ we're not counting infections. They made this as hectic as possible with those flashing lights.
Yes.
Andy climbs into the nearest air duct so he doesn't die hard and
Thank
waits out
God.
the worst of it. As the fresh brewed zombies and remaining humans breach containment, NATO forces try to target the infected needles in the haystack. The bullets find their first victim and officially get this repocalypse started. Doyle and the other snipers start playing Spy Party. It gets very hard, very fast. Still, doesn't stop them from knocking off 8 infected in the initial charge. All that practice invading privacy paid off, boys. Good work. Unfortunately, things quickly go foobar, and Stone decides to let loose with the collateral damage.
Shoot everything. Targets in outfield.
No, you fucker!
We've lost control.
Damn, dude, they haven't even reloaded
That's
yet.
what-
Gotta
no.
use them into the war crimes, my man. Scarlett and Tammy manage to find cover, but when Andy finally gizmos his way to freedom, In the House in a Heartbeat starts up again. Historically, not a good sign. Sure enough, the snipers start raining hot lead on the crowd below.
Rooftop units target everyone at ground level. No exceptions. Repeat, no exceptions.
Yes, you
In
hear
a
some of my
sequence
little
that's more
man.
disturbing than any of the blood puke stuff, the snipers gun down 14 unarmed civilians. Literally in one guy's case. It is honestly sickening to watch. This highly effective sequence
So
is no
fucked
doubt
up.
informed by when this movie was made. Awash in the war on terror and the Bush regime's fight against global terrorism. Stone's perspective
fucked up. We get another 28 like whatever movies right now with the dickhead we got in the office now.
Is one of utility. Is it worth killing 15,000 to potentially save the population of the world? I don't know, but it gives 28 weeks later a different sense of doom than its predecessor. Doyle is having a major moral crisis, especially when he gets Andy in his sights. So instead, he pops an attacking rager, slathering the kid in bad blood. Don't get that in your mouth, little buddy. Doyle nabs a sadder kill when he mercy murders his buddy who's getting ravaged by the infected on another rooftop. A wide shot of the carnage gives us 54 more bodies to add to the count, not including the collateral we've already counted. I think anyway. It's kind of hard to tell what's going on down there. Really wish Doyle would scope in for a better look, but he's officially decided to get the fuck out of Dodge. Amidst the chaos, Andy joins a group of survivors hiding in a nearby warehouse. They thankfully include his sister, and also that lady he just met. He lets Tammy know their father won't be joining them, which is a bummer. Honestly, this whole place is like the capital of Bummersville. Luckily, Doyle shows up and offers to take along anyone who wants to escape with him.
Why aren't you at your post?
Why aren't you?
Hey, you two. Save the sparks for the company Christmas party. He leads Scarlett, the kids, and some other meatbags on a nighttime trek out of the green zone. This nocturnal mission was shot day for night, like a lot of the first film. It helped the city look more abandoned, since the real London had all its lights on at night. You can spot some untreated footage in the original trailer. It's one of many ways cinematographer Enrique Chediak tried to maintain the grit of 28 Days Later, even though their cameras were a lot sleeker this time.
Enrique did a lot of handheld. I mean, he got beat up every day. Blood always on the camera. It's always covered in plastic and right in the thick of things.
Doyle calls on his eye-in-the-sky Flynn for a traffic report, and it is looking like quite the jam down there.
The aircraft, they just got their orders. They're firebombing all of District 1.
Oh no, someone saved Jack Quaid! Flynn tells Doyle he only has 4 minutes and directs him to a pickup point outside the city. Only problem is, some of Doyle's co-workers are still clocked in. A hail of sniper fire kills 2 of the red shirts while the rest of the group takes cover. Scarlett takes a hit to the leg. Scarlett, you're turning Scarlet, Scarlett! With time ticking away, Doyle tries to use a less important character as a distraction. This guy named, this guy named Sam. Sam's none too keen to go for it without any plot armor, so Andy saves the guy from a kill count graphic and rope-a-dopes the gunfire himself. It gives Doyle the opening to kill his colleague with a single shot. Damn, good thing the best sniper in the green zone is the one who's quiet quitting. The survivors head underground as the military starts firebombing the city. Really stretching our limits here, but we'll add 44 kills to the count, as infected and survivors alike are roasted in the flames. Although, should I be counting all these zombies? Because even the overcooked ones still have some bite left in them. And don't get at me about how they mentioned 15,000 people in the green zone earlier, because we can't say all of them were killed here. Consider Dom. He stays untoasted, unlike his home memories. He's not the only one either. A really weird slide transition, seriously, what the fuck is happening here, reveals that hordes of the infected have managed to escape into London. For the firebombing, Fresnadillo envisioned the napalm flowing through the city streets like water. Less wall of fire like Independence Day, and more like the flooding in The Day After Tomorrow. To achieve the effect, special effects supervisor Richard Conway built quarter-scale miniatures of the city. They set them at 90 degrees and burned them vertically to create the illusion of flowing fire. That footage was then combined with aerial plates and blue screen footage of stuntmen by visual effects supervisor Sean Matheson. A fireball nearly cuts the movie short, but our heroes make it out unharmed. They take refuge at an extremely British carnival, where Scarlett and Doyle get a chance to debrief. She tells him that Andy's genes might hold the cure for the rage virus. He tells her how much he misses his favorite store.
It's not a target anymore.
Flynn interrupts their budding situationship to let him know they've got an incoming infected horde. He takes the helicopter to a nearby farm to pick him up, but he's only expecting a party of 1 and refuses to honor companion certificates. He's okay with a little light treason for a friend, sure, but not these randos. As they negotiate, Sam panics and finally makes a name for himself by hopping on the chopper and fucking everything up. The commotion attracts the nearby infected, forcing Flynn to take drastic measures.
Come on, you fuckers!
In an impressive aerial maneuver, Flynn uses the chopper to blend up 54 members of the approaching horde. To quote Red vs. Blue, this doesn't seem physically possible. But who cares? Look at all that infected viscera fly.
Jesus.
A lot of this group kill had a practical base to it. Tons of wires, pyrotechnics, and literal tomato juice. I love it. Dio wanted the sequel's infected to have more guts, and the same animalistic rage as the first film's chained up private mailer. They brought on movement specialist Paul Casey, who had played an infected in 28 Days Later. Following that film's lead, Casey auditioned performers with movement backgrounds like
Wow.
gymnasts, dancers, mimes, and circus performers. They
That's
ended up with
pretty
a batch
awesome.
of 60 who attended an infected movement workshop run by Casey. It makes them scary
Wow,
and
that's pretty
interesting
awesome
to
right
watch.
there. They
Even
go
if
from
Doyle can still one-shot a
being
couple
part
of
of
them while
job,
they're
being
running
part
away.
of-
He's just
of
that
it
good.
and making a
Impressively,
job
Sam's
to-
been holding on this whole time, but now he finally falls to his death. You know, this movie's kind of mean. Doyle, who, like Sam, is also trying to survive, kills 4 zombies with only 3 shots. Where'd that magic bullet come from, man? Share with the class? Flynn tells Doyle to ditch those zeros and link up with the helo at Wembley Stadium, so our group gets back to limping again. They don't make it far before NATO nerve gases the city, forcing them to recreate the ending of The Mist, or at least most of it. They shut off the AC faster than a dad
Please
on a
don't,
road
'cause-
trip, keeping
please don't, because I heard about that. I refuse to watch that. I refuse to watch the kill count because I don't want to feel
them
sad.
safe from the Febrezing outside. The infected are not as lucky and quickly succumb to the gas. Uh-oh, except for that one. Oh, nope, never mind. She dead too. Thank God it's all over though. I mean, what's the worst that could happen now? Oh, shit. Ghost pirates with flamethrowers. They're here to double torch any survivors, so it's pretty bad timing that the car won't start. Someone needs to get out to push it, so Doyle volunteers. He steps out and manages to give the car a boost before going down in a blaze of glory.
Damn.
Rest in peace, buddy. Roast in peace. Scarlet puts the pedal to the metal and Tokyo drifts away. They're spotted by an even less
but
friendly
damn.
chopper pilot than Flynn, but Scarlet manages to outdrive the bullet storm and take him to the London Underground. Instead of simply Tony Hawking the car down the escalators, Scarlet leads the kids on foot with Doyle's thermal scope. Tons of bodies down here, but as you can see from behind the scenes footage, they're all just clothes and bastard scallies, meaning I don't need to count them. Scarlet helps the kids avoid the remains with a game of red light, green light.
Nice and slow. Slower.
Yeah, they have fun here. Despite her directions, Tammy makes a boneheaded move and tumbles down the stairs with her brother. Scarlet finds her, but not Andy, and while looking for him, they run into Don, who has somehow managed to track them all the way across London. Damn, that is persistence. He proceeds to beat Scarlet to death with the rifle. Hell House LLC there for a minute. He lets his daughter live to confirm the kill. Andy's wandering by his lonesome when he's cornered by dear old dad. Tammy arrives in time to see him take a bite out of her bro.
Damn!
Good on actor Macintosh Muggleton and his Harry Potter-ass name for one of the most painful screams I've ever heard. Because of the age and inexperience the part called for, he was the first actor.
We started.
He might got like what his mom got. And I think about it.
Because you have to find
But
them.
then again, I forgot. He might got what his mom had.
A lot of searching in schools and stuff. And
He
we found
infected
this
the one
great
race.
kid, Macintosh.
He gives Andy an authentic haunted quality, even before the zombies show up. Tammy arrives and the disappointment in her eyes reminds Don so much of Alice, he gives up gnawing on Andy just to kill her, you know, for old time's sake. But Tammy proves she also inherited her mom's guts by spilling her dad's all over the station with a gun. Tammy is played by a 17-year-old Imogen Poots.
Why she
who
was
later became
Imogen?
the festive final girl in the remake of Black
Imogen,
Christmas.
that's the name,
Fearing
but yeah.
the worst, Andy tries to get away from his sister before he turns.
Am I one of them?
But he's not only inherited his mother's eyes, but her immunity to symptoms too. Lucky them. Together, the siblings walk across post-apocalyptic London to Flynn's pickup spot at Wembley Stadium. They couldn't film at the real Wembley since it was undergoing renovations, so they shot this scene at Millennium Stadium in Cardiff and digitally altered the footage. Flynn's not thrilled to be babysitting, but you know, what's he gonna do? Go home empty-handed? Then who will tell everyone about his sick helicopter skills? They fly over what's left of the burning city and out to sea, towards Europe, where everything is still a-okay. Haha, psych! And he must have forgotten to wash his hands after eating a baguette or something, cause looks like Paris is ground zero too. This ending is great, but the movie originally ended with the peaceful footage of Flynn's abandoned chopper. Late in production, Fresnadillo decided that wasn't punchy enough. 2 days before final cut was due, they flew to Paris and shot the scene illegally with local actors, tacking it on just under the wire. Honestly, great call. After all, a movie with this much death.
News is he was kind of a son of a dick. The black guy survived, but still. And the kid did kind of survive. He was immune to this. I was like, fuck, but then I remember he might be immune to this device like his mom is. And he was, thank God. Only thing sucks that Jim Renner and Rose Byrne character died, but
Death can't
it is
end
what it
that
is.
nice. But how much death are we talking
Well,
here?
2 black folks survived because I think Egypt survives too.
Let's find out and get to the.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Let's see, where am I? Yeah! Oh, nope. Doesn't count. Doesn't count. Okay. Yeah! Infected Zoran!
Oh, no, I'm not infected. I'm just
Infected Zoran!
Come here! I hear him playing!
Damn it, James.
137 people died in 28 weeks later, with the victims consisting of 132 men, 38 women, and 67 who were running too fast to identify. The sequel outkilled the first movie by 59 bodies, but it's still not enough to crack into the top 10 kill counts. It comes in at number 12. Oh, Emesis Blue, you really blew up our show. With a runtime of 100 minutes, 28 weeks later had a kill on average every 25.32 seconds.
Here we go.
Give the golden chainsaw for coolest kill to the chopping spree.
Yep,
It's like
I figured that
something you
was
do with your
it.
toys as a kid, but
I figured
with an
that.
actual helicopter and so much goop. The almost ready for lamest kill goes to the infected that got nerve gassed. I mean, I get that that's how it works, but when every other kill is pretty cool, just sort of passing out is boring by default. And that's it. 28 Weeks Later was released in 2007 to solid reviews, but a lower box office than the original. We'll see how the franchise continues this year with 28 years later. Until next time, I'm James H.
I called it, so they already have a new one. I was joking. I was joking. Said they might have. They be. I mean, must run. They might have one because of the president we got now. Because they said this was based around the time we had another in that president, but it wasn't as bad as this current one. But I'm talking about who that's in office, been in office already and not good. And thinking of that, and as well the helicopters. First got to Invicta that devastating plane crash around DC, especially the ice skating team. That was pretty sad. But anyway, let's keep going.
Janice, this has been the kill count.
On the next
Here we
kill
go.
count.
Psst, over here.
Oh, it's the game one. What is it?
Keep quiet. I don't
So-
want them
so
to
what is
find
it?
us. But I wanted to tell you what the next kill count is. Oh, I'm so excited because on Friday we are covering.
Oh God! Oh! It's 2013's Outlast!
Outlast.
A survival horror game known for turning streamers into screamers!
I didn't think about this one.
You play as Miles Upshur, a journalist investigating the abandoned Mount Massive Asylum.
All right, so this was definitely gonna be on the list. I'll definitely put it on.
Okay, turns out not nearly abandoned enough.
You're beginning to understand, but not yet.
Once the site of secret experiments, this whole operation has gone
Down the drain, down the drain, down the drain, down the drain.
Now the inmates are running the asylum.
You can control it.
And they're not the only things being let loose. That's right, dicks. Uncover government conspiracies, dangerous enemies, and bodies. Just
Well, it's getting look pretty cool.
lots and lots of
What do you think about this?
You must be
I'll put this in the. I'll add it to the
So, yeah.
polls.
So
list.
make sure you have enough batteries for your camera while you play Outlast.
Will you see it? Can you?
Then on Friday, February 14th, Valentine's Day, find yourself a date.
I didn't want to have to do this to you.
Oh God, no!
Oh,
not
this
like
is-
that,
I ways-
please.
I got-
Just,
I got ways
use your
anyway.
night vision to make sure to see the kill count only on Dead.
Outlast can be played on the pictured gaming platforms. Deadmeat always recommends you play the game for yourself before its kill count. It's the only way to have your own.
Oh, so 14th. So we got time anyway. So next week. Oh, well, that's all right. Well, next week will be the poll then anyway. So yeah.
Properly formed opinion. Kill counts are never.
So that's
meant for a realistic
perfect
experience
now.
of playing a game.
Thanks a lot for watching this kill count for 28 weeks later. This is the first video that I'm filming after the fire, so I just want to say a huge thank you to all the firefighters and the emergency responders
Definitely.
and anyone who helped out here in Los Angeles. And speaking of the fires, I fixed my hair and re-recorded this part to tell you about a raffle we're participating with Super Yaki. The proceeds
That's
for all
awesome.
tickets sold will go to those affected by the fires.
Yeah.
They'll be split evenly between underfunded GoFundMe campaigns and the Motion Picture and Television Fund, which assists industry workers affected by the fires. Today, Friday, January 31st, is the last day you can participate. But if you want to win some cool Dead Meat stuff, we are part of bundle number 4, the Horror Heads bundle. You choose the bundle that you want a ticket for when you buy it, but you can buy multiple tickets for multiple bundles. You can do this at Super Yaki's website. There's a link in the description and probably on the screen right now. Okay, back to Bad Hair James to close this thing out. All I can say is that I'm really proud of my city and the people who live here. Everyone came together and just helped each other out, and I'm so happy to see
They
the
did.
camaraderie that I've seen throughout the city. And huge thanks to everyone who helped us raise funds for relief when we did the live stream. There was a live stream of me and my buddy Mike playing Fortnite. I play Fortnite, usually over on Twitch.
All right, so that's good. They have that going on. So yeah, prayers out to that. Oh, crazy go from one crazy tragedy to another with this plane crash. But anyway, so yeah, I forgot they're doing every other Tuesdays and every other Friday, which is pretty good now. So that being said, so probably what I'm gonna try to do is every other week is poll week or free week, depends on this. Or the first of the free of the day is poll week, and then after the game week, the free week will be based on depends on if the game. I guess the free week at the game week will be depends on if if the video game reaction is longer than a half hour. Because if it is, I got to split it in two parts though. Because I tried with Resident Evil and saw me, and I was trying my best to stay awake, but stay here in the wall too. So other than that, if you like my reaction, like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's your boy T signing off. One love.